what's so hard about living in the not only 21st century, but specifically 2025, is that you know for a fact through social media that there are so many people that have it far worse off than you. You know, kids in Gaza, shit's happening up in Haiti and in Sudan. You know for a fact, Iran. You know, you know that stuff is hard. That doesn't take away the fact that what you're going through is hard as well. Two things can be true at the same time, and that's what we're going to look at today. So, for many people in the world, moving to a new place is exciting and fun and can be this beautiful experience. But for many people, and I think that's something that not many people talk about, it is a huge, huge setback. My husband and I have to move out of our current situation through no fault of our own. It's a whole long story, but it has thrown me for a loop, and I have been doing the emotional, psychological, mental roller coaster for the past month. Not to mention all the other stuff that has got nothing to do with moving that I'm not going to get into today. But I want to break down. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm swinging again. I want to break down what is the right way to move forward. So all this stuff happens to you, right? You know, it doesn't matter what it is. What you're going through is valid, and don't let anybody invalidate the hardship that you're going through. However, I think there is a right way to go about it. And I'm not here to tell anyone what to do with their lives, but for someone that struggles with their mental health, who has general anxiety disorder, I mean, yesterday I had to drive an hour out of the city, and I was convinced that my cats were going to die in a fire because the Roomba was going to set alight, which is just peak symptom of the crazy that goes on in my head when life is hard. Right, so I think there is a right way to go about things like this, especially if you're dealing with mental health. Sorry, I'm playing with Lutec, Prestick for any South Africans out there. It's kind of like a stress ball, I guess, right? Anyway, um, how to find your resilience in a space of hardship. So the thing is, I really and truly believe is that you have to find your clarity and your truth and acknowledge where you're at. You're in a shit position, and don't let other people try to toxic positivity your way out of it. Like, oh, well, you know, you'll land on your feet. How about fuck you? How about that? You don't know if I'm gonna land on my feet. You don't know that there's gonna be a silver fucking lining at the end of this, you know, rainbow, which I'm totally confusing metaphors here for. But point being is that take your time to acknowledge that what you are going through is shit. It's hard. It's unfair. Life's unfair. But then give yourself time to stew and to marinate in your bitterness and your resentfulness and your why is my life so hard and other people have it so easy? Because I know from personal experience, if you don't, that just sits in the background, right? So acknowledge where you are. From there, try and find gratitude of it could be worse, right? That's the thing for me that makes it better, right? Things could be worse. You could be one of those kids in Gaza, right? You, for example, I have to move houses. What if I had less funds available to me? Thank God I have those funds available to me. Many people don't. A worse situation, I'd have to move into my car with me, my husband, and my two cats. Jesus, could you imagine? And so many people do it, right? So many people are in positions that are worse off than ourselves. So, acknowledgement, figure out what could be worse, and then find gratitude. That's a big step. Be grateful for whatever you're going through. No, that's wrong. Don't be grateful for what you're going through. Be grateful for what you have and that it's not worse, right? For example, I am so grateful for the community that has come together for us and helped us through all of this that we're going through. I'm grateful for a fantastic husband who has been an absolute pillar of strength. I chose a goodie, no doubt about it. I'm very grateful for my level of mental health at the moment. Yes, I'm struggling, but it could be worse if I was in a worse general mental position. Do you know what I mean? Because when shit hit the fan, my mental health was here. Imagine if shit hit the fan and my mental health was here. You know, people do it all the time. I was there a couple of months ago, you know. So find your gratitude. What step's that? That's step number 3. So acknowledge where you're at, figure out how it could be worth, be grateful what you have, and then from there, find your strength. And I don't know what that looks like for you. At the moment, my strength is in I have done everything I could possibly do to try and remedy my situation. It still didn't come to pass. So the whole concept of control what you can control and let go what you can't control. I can't control anything more. If I couldn't get what I needed to stay where I'm currently at, there's nothing I can do about it. I did my best. Right? So I have to surrender. From that surrendering, I like to think it opens me up to new opportunities. You know, that whole concept of close one door and another one opens. Right? So trying to pivot, you know, this is not working. Pivot, find a solution, figure out what you need to do to get from here to there. All right. And from there, create that level of resilience. You can do this. You've got the shit. You have the strength that you need. And just put your big girl panties on, or big boy panties on, or whatever panties that you're wearing. And just do the thing that you need to do. Right. I have cried so many times in the past week. And the mental health is still doing this. At the end of the day, whatever needs to be done has got to be done. And if you don't do it, you know, if you feel the resistance and you feel the sticking your heels in that you don't want to do the things that you need to do, you're going down the rings of the ladder, right? Don't let yourself hit rock bottom, right? Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, do the fucking shit that you need to do. Now, here's the kicker. If you try to go straight, in my opinion, in my personal experience of being if you try to go directly to boss mode, it doesn't, it goes straight into the toxic positivity of like, I don't know. A couple of months ago, a friend said to me, "Don't worry, God will provide." And I was like, God will provide. Where's he providing? Right? But now, after like going through the steps that I need to go through, God, the universe, friends, my own personal energy, it will provide. And we will land on our feet. And if we don't land on our feet, we'll continue until we do land on our feet. So, chin up. Do the thing that you need to do. And let's get to a space that's a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more safe. And maybe not so safe in the fact that you don't grow and try and figure your shit out. Don't be safe that it becomes a risk. Be safe that you still take the risk that you need to get to your next point. Anyway, I'm going to leave you there. I'll catch you in the next one where we have found ourselves in a better position. Chat soon.